Silent Hill is considered an institution among video game horror franchises. Among the many games under the franchise, Silent Hill 2 is the most famous one because of its story and monsters. When I heard that a Silent Hill 2 remake was on its way, I was cautiously optimistic. However, knowing that Bluebird team was in charge of the remake made me nervous that they would miss the mark. After playing the game, now I have to answer, did Bluebird team deliver or did they stumble? Hi everyone, my name is Jeremy and this is my non-spoiler review for Silent Hill 2 Remake for PS5. The game was developed by Bluebird team and published by Konami. So let's talk about the story of this game. Silent Hill 2 Remake follows the story of James, who received a letter from his wife to come see her in Silent Hill. However, James' wife has been dead for some time. He decides to travel to the titular town to find out who sent the letter and what is happening. At his arrival, he finds a ghost town filled with horrors, and there he will have to confront the truth behind this unusual invitation. The game's story is told through voice-acted cutscenes and documents that you find throughout the game. In terms of the music, it's extremely atmospheric, haunting, and creates tension in a seamless way. The music is dynamic, meaning that depending on what you're doing and what is happening on screen, the music changes. And the music constantly managed to accentuate what's happening on screen, keeping a constant tense horror atmosphere. So let's talk about the visuals. In terms of the visuals, the game goes for a hyper-realistic look. It has a high visual fidelity. And the setting of Silent Hill just feels abandoned, deteriorated, and horrifying throughout the entire game, and the visuals truly manage to transmit that. There are a lot of dense shadows that are used to create tension and uneasiness in the player, and subtle lighting is used to guide the players at different times. In terms of the performance, I played the game in performance mode on the PS5, and the frame rate was relatively stable, but it didn't feel silky smooth. I didn't encounter any glitch or bugs whatsoever. So let's talk about the gameplay. Silent Hill is a psychological survival horror game with resource management, exploration, slow methodical combat, and puzzle solving. The game is played from a third-person perspective over the shoulder camera. The objective of the game is to explore areas, find key items and clues to solve puzzles to progress the story forward. Exploration is one of the aspects in which this game excels. There's a good mix of open sections of the town and other enclosed spaces that are quite big. The open areas are less linear and allow the player to explore and look for optional resources and upgrades. Even in the enclosed areas, you will have to explore to find the key items that you need to open new doors, new areas, and complete that section. And in these enclosed spaces, fighting and puzzle solving have a bigger role to play. Enclosed areas are complex and require the player to read documents, find clues in those documents or the environment, solve puzzles, and find key items to progress. In this aspect, the use of the map is key to progressing through the game. The maps are very detailed and the main character scribbles as you explore to mark key things in the map. Puzzle solving in this game is challenging. The franchise is known for its elaborate and complex puzzles, so much so that there is an individual difficulty setting for puzzles in the game. As long as you play within the normal level of difficulty, they're manageable. In regards to the fighting, Silent Hill is highly focused on melee combat. There are a limited amount of weapons at your character's disposal, some guns and a melee weapon. The fighting in this game feels visceral and intense and really adds to the horror factor. As any survival horror game, there's a strong focus on resource management. Healing items and bullets are very limited, so you have to think carefully how to approach enemy encounters. You will have to pick and choose your fights and fight enemies carefully to minimize damage. In terms of enemy design, there isn't much variety honestly, but the designs are truly horrifying, especially when you have to get up close to fight them. The game also features boss fights which are challenging and fun. So let's talk about the pros and the cons of this game. And I'm gonna start out with the cons. The only complaint I have is with the health display system, which to me was very uncomfortable, because there is no life bar on screen. So you have to use the PlayStation controller to know how much life your character has left, and it is displayed by colors. And within the game, the way they show it is just very ambiguous and hard to follow. Obviously, this is an extremely minimal complaint because it really did not take away from my gameplay experience. So let's talk about the pros. I would have to say that the pros are across the board, but I'm gonna try and emphasize two. First of all, the visuals. This game looks incredible. The level of detail that they have put inside of the town, the characters, the facial animations, the monster animations, honestly, it's very impressive. And you are gonna be truly immersed throughout the entire experience. Secondly, and to me this is the most important one, the atmosphere. This was the one thing that I thought Bluebird team would not nail, and they did. The game has a horrifying atmosphere. I love playing Resident Evil games, and the atmosphere in Resident Evil games do not hold a candle to this game. The atmosphere is so horrifying. It's just pure terror, and you're gonna be tense throughout the entire experience. So in conclusion, Silent Hill 2 Remake was one of the pleasant surprises of 2024. Bluebird team achieved what people thought impossible by delivering an incredible remake of an incredible game. For this reason, I highly recommend Silent Hill 2 Remake for the PS5. So that's gonna be it for my non-spoiler review. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
In my restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm alone there now, in our special place, waiting for you.
Hi everyone, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to keep up to date with our content.